There are mornings when the first light falls on the wall, as if it is trying to find someone it once knew. A thin, tired light that touches the surface of objects, but somehow never reaches you. And in that slow, heavy silence, you realize your voice has always felt smaller than everything around you. You walk into group conversations the way you might walk into a room filled with fog. Sound is there, but it feels wrapped in cotton, soft, distant, as if the world is speaking from behind a sheet of cold glass. You sit there, looking calm on the outside, while inside you are doing the quiet work of staying balanced. There are moments when you think, I'll say something now. Just one sentence, just one small thought. But right then, the rhythm of the conversation changes. Someone speaks faster, someone speaks louder, and the words you had, soft, gentle, not quite formed, slide back down into your throat. You watch eyes move past you like weak dots of light, appearing for a second, then disappearing. You give a small, polite smile, but it fades before anyone really sees it. You look down at your hands and wonder why you always feel like you're standing at the edge of the picture, not far enough to disappear completely, but not close enough to truly belong. When you leave these conversations, you carry a feeling that is strangely mixed. Light, like a breath you've been holding. Heavy, like a stone rolling slowly in your chest. A tiredness with no clear name. A quiet withdrawing that no one notices. People often assume you are silent because you are nice, shy, reserved. But the truth is far more delicate than that. You are not silent because you have nothing to say. You are silent because saying it is also exhausting. Because you are not sure your words will really be heard. Because being fully visible in a group can make your whole body feel like a tightened string. Your quiet is not a flaw. It is not proof of a missing confidence. It is the response of a nervous system that has been touched by too much, too often. It is the way your body protects you from overload, a survival mechanism, not a failure. When you sit in a conversation, you are not disappearing. You are folding yourself in, just enough to stop your feelings from spilling out. Just enough so the world does not push against you harder than you can bear. You are not to blame. You are tired. You are simply trying not to break. Somewhere in your past, there were moments when your voice was cut off. You shared something honest, and it was dismissed. You told a story with excitement, and the adults were busy, distracted, half present. Those moments were small on the surface, but repeated over time, they quietly shaped how you learned to exist around other people. A child's body learns very quickly. It learns that speaking can lead to being wrong. Misunderstood, ignored, made to feel foolish or too much. And so it learns that silence is safer, less risky, less likely to end in shame. As the child grows, the nervous system grows with it, still holding those old lessons. When you step into situations with many eyes, many voices, many chances to be judged, your body reaches for its oldest strategy. It tightens your throat, just a little. It slows your breathing. It nudges you back towards silence, not because you choose it, but because your body believes it is protecting you. You sit there, and on the outside you seem still, but inside, hundreds of tiny reactions are moving at once. A quiet vigilance, a small, enduring fear. A faint inner whisper saying, what if I say it wrong? What if they look at me strangely? What if this changes how they see me? No one else can see that, but your body remembers every detail. Some people learn to stay quiet because every time they tried to shine, someone dimmed them. To survive, you developed soft but powerful protective habits. You watch before you speak. You scan the room. You feel the rhythm of the conversation. You take a small step back inside yourself to avoid stepping in at the wrong moment. Every tiny movement is checked internally, as if you run a rehearsal in your mind before you ever let a word out. You listen to others, but in truth, you are also listening to yourself even more. You analyze, You anticipate. You imagine how people might react. Dozens of possibilities move through your mind in the space of a few seconds. And then, you stay quiet. The loop repeats itself. Protection leads to distance. Distance leads to pain. Pain leads to stronger protection. You withdraw to avoid discomfort. The more you withdraw, the more disconnected you feel. The more disconnected you feel, the more different you believe you are. The more different you feel, the more you protect yourself. Silence becomes the coat you wear every day. It is not heavy, but it covers every interaction. It makes you look calm, while underneath you are holding back a colorless storm. Silence becomes a shelter when the world feels too sharp. When you go home, you do not simply move on. You replay the conversation, every sentence, every glance, every pause. In your mind, you say all the things you could not say out loud. You adjust the words. You soften the tone. You imagine how things might have been if you had dared to speak. The truth is, you live in two conversations at once. The one outside in the room, and the one inside in your head. The inner one is always louder. Sometimes it feels as if time has been stretched. One small moment in real life becomes a long maze inside your mind. You think so much that you feel drained, and yet nothing was actually spoken. Silence is both your refuge and your prison, a safe place that slowly becomes too cold to breathe in. The more you rehearse your voice in your head, the harder it feels to use it in the real world. The irony is, the same sensitivity that makes you pull back is also what allows you to see the world with unusual depth. You hear things others do not hear. You notice small changes in tone and gaze. You feel the atmosphere in a room as if it has weight. You sense when someone is sad, even when their words sound fine. Your depth is both a burden and a gift you rarely feel allowed to claim. You do not talk much, but every sentence you consider is weighed with your whole heart. You do not arrive loudly, yet your quiet presence can make others feel safe, even if they never understand why. Your silence is not an absence. It is a more refined way of being here. Not everyone who sits quietly is empty. Some are simply carrying more than they can explain. You live in a world that rewards volume, where speaking louder is confused with being more right, where social media turns every interaction into a kind of stage, where people feel forced to be entertaining, confident, constantly visible, in front of thousands of invisible eyes. In that kind of world, your softness is easy to misread. People assume you are not engaging, but often you are simply exhausted by a culture that demands constant performance. At work, you may sit in pressured rooms where everyone talks in order to prove they are contributing. Yet talking more does not mean understanding more. And you, the one who observes deeply, are often overlooked. Just because you did not force your way into the noise, you are not less capable. You are functioning in a culture that is far louder than your natural rhythm. Some people are not quiet because they have nothing to say. They are quiet because the world has given them too few places that feel safe enough to say it. There are weekends where you stay at home, letting the grey morning light seep through the curtains like a thin mist. You make tea. The room is cool. The air feels flat, like still water. You can hear the low, steady hum of a heater, or a fridge, ticking away like the slow breath of a day that never changes. In that stillness, you think of earlier versions of yourself. Times when your laughter came more easily. Memories that seem warmer in color, while the present feels washed out, pale and slow. You may even ask yourself, did I change, or did the world change? And quietly, you know the answer is both. Home is your shelter, and also the place where your loneliness echoes the loudest. The loop returns. Safety, quiet, emptiness, and then the need for safety again. Sometimes the safest room is also the one that reminds you most of how alone you feel. And yet, In the middle of all this, there is a softer truth. You are not silent because you are weak. You are silent because you have been alive for a long time in a world that moves too fast, asks too much, pushes too hard. You are not invisible. You are overwhelmed. Your overwhelm is not a crack in you. It is a signal. A quiet message from your body that says, I need slower breaths. I need gentler spaces. I need fewer sharp edges against my skin. You are not broken. You are not wrong. You are protecting yourself in a way that many people will never see, because it happens inside you. In the stillness you fear, the moments where you think you are disappearing, you are actually trying to find your way back to your own pace. You are not falling apart. You are overloaded, and somewhere, underneath all the fog and static and tired light, you are learning how to live more softly, in a world that has grown used to speaking too much and listening too little. Being quiet in a loud world is not a failure. It is a different way of surviving.